Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Bashem Rakakadash. Which is the true names of the world. Even called God and Jesus Christ. Now this video is going into Kanye West is calling out these Edomites, which are the so-called white people, men, women, children. According to the Holy Scriptures, the Edomites will rule the planet Earth before the coming destruction via Babylon the Great. There's plenty of scriptures that go into that, like Psalms 137. I believe Zechariah, the 2nd chapter, goes into the Israelites being in the daughter of Babylon. What else? You got Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 49, Isaiah the 63rd chapter, and of course the book of Obadiah, where it says the Edomites will be judged and exterminated in the kingdom of heaven, proving that the Edomites are still here. Job 9:24, the Edomites control the earth. Malachi the 1st chapter calls the Edomites the wicked, the border of wickedness, and the only two nations on the planet Earth. According to the scriptures, there's only two different nations of people, and there's only about 18 total different nations of people on the planet Earth. And by nations, I pretty much mean race of people, like how you have so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. They all make up one nation, which is the nation of Israel. There are two nations that make up one nation as a whole. They count as one, the Israelites. And then you have another nation like the Ishmaelites, which are the so-called Arabs. And then you have another nation, the Edomites, which are so-called white people. You understand? There's only two nations on the planet Earth that were given rulership to control the earth. And let's just get that real quick. This is Genesis, the 27th chapter, and I'm going to scroll up. Genesis 27th chapter and 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Esau sold off his birthright for raw meat because Esau was too impatient to have it cooked, and he was hungry. And Jacob said, all right, I'll give you this meat, but give me your birthright, because Esau was the first that came out. But as we know through the scriptures, of course, reading up more before this event happened, it was already set up for Jacob to have the birthright to control the planet Earth forever. Verse 23, and he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. Now you actually have Edomite pastors under Christianity, which is clearly not aligned with the gospel of the Holy Scriptures, will come out and say that Jacob was like a thief, and Jacob in Hebrew is Yakub, which just means to supplant, the supplanter. You understand? Verse 25, and he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, which is like, deer meat, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. Now let me scroll down. Verse 28, therefore Yahweh thy power give thee the dew of the heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. So the Israelites are going to have submission of the heathens. You understand? Multiple scriptures that go into this. You have Isaiah the 14th chapter, Isaiah the 60th chapter. What else you got? I believe Revelation is the second chapter, which I think Revelation is the second chapter also touches up on Isaiah the 60th chapter. You understand? So you heathens, I believe Jeremiah 16th chapter as well. You heathens, so everybody that's not an Israelite will be subservient to the Israelites, is all throughout the scriptures. But of course, the Edomites, which through prophecy would act like they're the Israelites, taking our heritage and our land, and they will control the planet Earth. You understand? Until the Israelites get our rulership. Now let's verse 29 again. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Now, as we saw, Jacob got rulership over the planet Earth. Now and that goes to the 12 tribes of Israel, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and he supplanted the rest of the Israelites. Now let's go to Esau. Verse 37, Genesis 27:37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do unto thee, my son? So that was supposed to be Esau. Esau, all right, not literally, but in this situation, Esau technically was supposed to get it because he was the firstborn, but it was set up for Jacob to get the ultimate blessing. I'm going to reread verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord. All right. And all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee? Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. In verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So Esau is going to have control over the planet Earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau was blessed with the sword. And as we know, he was in the scriptures, Esau was a cunning hunter, and Jacob was a simple man dwelling in tents. You understand? And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So Jacob would have Esau under his foot, but Esau will come up, overpower Jacob, and then have control over the planet Earth. And the most recent event has been a back and forth thing, you understand, with King David. But the main one was in Europe with the Renaissance. Because in Europe, you had Jake ruling in Europe, the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so-called blacks, so-called African Americans, Caribbeans, you understand, Haitians. They were ruling in Europe, known as the Moors. You understand, those castles, knights, so on and so forth, were created in what's the word I'm looking for? Controlled by so-called blacks during the quote unquote dark ages. You understand? That's why they don't really touch up on the dark ages. And now Esau coming out with the more stuff. They coming out already with it on a certain level. But like Charlemagne and who else? Charlemagne. It's many more. Many. You understand? They were Israelites. Those churches created by Israelites, they still have the artwork there. That's the crazy part, is if you go into these castles and these churches, the ones they allow you to go into, they still have the actual artwork, the knights, the statues. The statues are still all over Europe because they couldn't take all of it down. The artwork, the statues, I mean, the flag of Sardinia is all over Europe. The presence of Jacob, the Israelites, because the Israelites took over Europe once the Roman Empire collapsed. But then Esau, through his blessing with the sword, overpowered Jacob and got the rulership. You understand? And conquered the so-called blacks in Europe. And then they went to the west coast of Africa and got the rest of the Israelites over there. And that goes to, I believe, Joel chapter 3. But anyways, verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So when you got Jake out here, and Jake just means Jacob, the Israelites, even the ones that don't know they're Israelites, that's the main ones I'm finna talk about right now, is that they'll try to wonder, like, why do so-called white people hate us so much? Because we have the blessing. We have the blessing to control the planet Earth forever. And these Edomites only have a blessing to control the planet Earth for a short time, and then go into captivity and then get exterminated. Now, another thing I found pretty funny is that I went to the commentator on here for Numbers chapter 12. I'm not going to go to it right now because I don't want to make the video too long, and it's not necessary. You can do it on your own time. But basically in this chapter, it pretty much confirms that the Israelites, the Most High, the angels, Yahweh Shai, who the world only calls Jesus Christ, you understand, are not so-called white people. Because here it straight up shows you that the Most High stripped Miriam of her melanin and she came out looking like a so-called white person. But what I found funny is that when you go to sorry, I saw something outside. When you go to the commentator, it tries to say that, I don't know if Esau trying to be slick, but it was saying that Moses' face became white or something. But Moses' face did not become white. His face shined. You understand? Because when you have wisdom, it makes you glow. Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is he as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. You understand? And the boldness of his face shall change. That's why in Daniel chapter 10:6, Yahweh Shai's face is the appearance of lightning, and why Moses' face was shining because of his wisdom, not because he suddenly just pretty much got leprosy. Because and the main point is that what I'm going into in this commentator, you know what? Let me just get it, man, so you can see what I'm talking about. Now in this commentator, they let me just click it, and you can see how hypocritical and hurt these Edomites are. Because as you can see in this video, let's play this video first before I get that commentator.
Computer, and I check my phone and I see these two things trending. I get a bit of a chuckle because they're not related, and I click them and they are. Because of Kanye West. Think created cancel culture. I want to explain what is going on with this tweet and this trend. It is Black Hebrew Israelite talking points. If you don't know what that movement is, basically in the 19th century, there was a movement where people claimed they had visions that African Americans were actually the Hebrews in the Bible. And it's not a big movement, but it's grown.
Now, I don't know how far he got into his folly, but pretty much I'll leave a link to the video. He was saying that in the 19th centuries, when they were saying so-called African Americans are the Israelites, first it's BS. Because one, we always knew we were Israelites until we came over here in the slave ships and it got beaten out of us. You understand? And it started spreading like wildfire once YouTube came out, and the awakening of Israel started with Abba Bivens in, what was it, the late 60s. Yeah, the late 60s is when, you understand, and we believe through prophecy that was Elijah the prophet, because Yahweh Shemi Shai clearly said he would send Elijah the prophet before, you understand, Jacob's trouble, and before Yahweh Shai comes back in World War III, oh my God, won. You understand? So the believers of Yahweh Shemi Shai believe wholeheartedly that Abba Bivens was Elijah the prophet. You understand? So that's when it fully started off. Prior to Jacob coming over here in America, specifically the Southern Kingdom, before they came over here in the Americas, they knew they were the Israelites. You understand? In Europe, when we was ruling in Europe, we knew we were Israelites. When we was on the west coast of Africa, we knew we were Israelites. Literally, they have a map. They literally have a map of the west coast of Africa called Negro Land and the land of Judah. Literally, it's still in the it's in the Library of Congress. I just did a video on it. So they knew we were Israelites. It's prophecy. You can't beat prophecy. Now, another thing I want to go into, well, back on topic, I should say, is here in verse here. It says they skip over scriptures because they know it cuts them. So they you see, like what Christianity likes to do in these false religions is that they pick things they want and ignore things that doesn't fit their narrative. And then they're hypocrites. And then they'll say that over here, people of GMS and likewise do what they're doing. We don't do none of that. We believe in every single word in these scriptures, every last one of them, wholeheartedly, 100%, 144%. We believe in everything in these scriptures. We don't cherry pick nothing. We don't pick something. We don't disagree with nothing in the scriptures. We don't twist words, and we go over everything. But these Christians, like you see here in this Bible commentary, whatever this dude is, right? He might not be a Christian, but these heathens, better way of putting it, these heathens try to get our scriptures and then use it to forward their agenda. Now, check this out. Let's go to verse. Perfect. So you see he covers certain parts and he ignores the rest. So here, as you can see here, let's go scroll down a little bit more. Numbers 12 and 10. You can see he's commentating on it, saying, suddenly Miriam became leper as white as snow. So her melanin was stripped off her body, and she started looking like a so-called white person. Now, she wasn't literally white, because in the scriptures it tells you she started looking like a newborn baby. So that means she had pale, translucent red skin, like you Edomites. And that's where I want to show you that he skipped over that, because he knows that they're cursed. Because Esau was born red all over like a hairy garment. Because he was born, his genetic code was already predestined to not have any melanin in it to begin with. You understand? Because when babies are born, their genetic code to adapt, you understand, to whatever their mother and their father has mixed with them in the flesh, it doesn't kick in till later on. So they'll look like so-called white people, because, so-called white people do not have melanin in their flesh, which is 100% a curse. The Most High, Yahweh Bashim Shai, the angels, the Israelites, do not look like that unless we've mixed seed, which we have. You understand? Unless we mix our seed with these other nations. And Yahweh Shai, the angels, and Yahweh, who the world he calls God, Jesus Christ, you understand? They look like so-called black men. And it's stated all throughout the scriptures that they do. You understand? Now here's the part where they skip over it. Now it says Numbers 12, 11 through 12. And it says right here. So Aaron said to Moses, "O my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly, in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead," which is when you die, your melanin gets stripped from you. You understand? I forgot, I can't pronounce it, but it's like Audio P share, something like that. I have a video on it. Just scroll through my channel, you'll see it. When you die, your melanin gets stripped from you, and again, you look like a so-called white person. That's a curse. You understand? You Edomites are cursed. You have control of the planet Earth now, pursuant to Numbers, the 9th chapter, or around the 13th, the 12th, 13th verse on down, it clearly tells you that the Most High gave you the power to control the earth just so he can flex on you and bring you down, just like how he did with Pharaoh. You're the modern day Pharaoh. That's why it likens Babylon the Great to Egypt. That's why at the end of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it says the Israelites will go into Egypt again by the way of ships, the transatlantic slave trade. Now let's get to this point right here. And as you can see, he completely skipped over it. He didn't go into how it straight up is proven that it's looking like a so-called white people. But it was another one that I wanted to get, but you get the point. Numbers 12 and 12. Let her not be as one dead. Adiop Sher. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Again, you can look it up for yourself. Alas, my Lord, verse 11. And Aaron said to Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us where we have done foolishly and where we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. So that confirms that Miriam, Moses, the Israelites, the Most High himself, so on and so forth, do not have pale, translucent skin like decaying bodies, newborn babies, and you Edomites, and you other heathens. Now let's get Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So the Most High has pure wool hair. So let's go into concordance, which is the accurate translation of these scriptures, and go click on the word pure. It means clean, pure. You understand? Now let's click on wool, so there's no confusion, because we're slicing you Edomites up, because you have tortured, oppressed, and enslaved the Israelites, and you think at the same time you're doing it, you're saying that you're the Israelites. You're going to get slaughtered. We're superior than you, and that's another thing. In the video, he says that we're the so-called black Hebrew Israelites. We're not, first and foremost, we're not black. Nobody on planet Earth is black. Nobody is white. You understand? And all the Israelites are not so-called black people. You have the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. But they don't like bringing that up because it can't forward the disrespect of calling us black. Because if they start putting together the Northern Kingdom, which is so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, yes, you have so-called black people that are from the northern tribes, but specifically so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, what are they gonna say then? Native American Israelites, Hispanic Israelites. You understand? So it's gonna bring in more folly. And Esau's not stupid, but Esau cannot stop what's happening, because it's the power of Yahweh by Shem Shah. Nobody can come against this. You can't prove us wrong, because we're using the scriptures. We're not twisting those scriptures. We're not using no other sources. Yes, we can use sources that connect to these scriptures, but we're not using an outside source and claiming that it's fact. We're using the scriptures and claiming that is fact, because it is. Now let's go to the word wool. As you can see, Salaki, I clicked the wrong word. Let's go back. The word wool, as you can see, is talking about wool. So he has woolly hair. And by default, it will be white, because Yahweh Shai's hair is white and woolly. And that confirms that when in Revelations, the 1st chapter, where it says his hair is white like wool, is literally saying it's woolly hair, because Yahweh Shai looks like his father. Let's get that in the scriptures. Colossians 1 and 15, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. So Yahweh Shai looks like his father. And as we know, Daniel also saw Yahweh Shai. Daniel 10, And 6, his body was also like the beryl, because his garment, he has a green garment on. And his face has the appearance of lightning. A man's wisdom makes his face shine like the sun. We read that earlier. His eyes as lamps of fire. And his arms and his feet. So in Revelation's first chapter, it just said his feet was a dark color. Now here it's saying his feet and his arms are a dark color. His arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the multitude. And Yahweh Shai said himself that his arms and his or his hands and his feet represents his body. Let's get that. Luke 24:39, behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see me, for spirit have not flesh and bones, as ye see me have. So Yahweh Shai is literally saying his hands, his feet are represents his flesh, and as we know, his hands, his arms, and his feet are the color of a very dark brown color, and that represents his whole entire flesh, his body. So he is a so-called black person. You understand? This is confirmation. This is not opinion. This is straight up facts. You understand? Nobody can debunk this. Nobody can prove this wrong. Debunk, same thing, synonyms. You can't prove it wrong. Just stay mad. Esau and you wicked niggas out there, you 2/3, just stay mad. The Most High coming to kill you. You Edomites, we're going to enslave you. It's going to be 2 times worse than what you did to us. And then we're going to exterminate you. And just to show that we're superior, even though just looking at society, Jake is running everything pretty much. You understand that he has the power to run. You understand music. Did you know that there's the 2 highest levels of intelligence is creativity and intuition? You understand? And Jake completely dominates music, sports, combat, looks. Jake get all the women. They love BBC, man. It's so bad that it has a name for it. It's called BBC. Do you understand? Jake, and let's get that in the scriptures. We are superior than everybody else. The Most High is racist. Deuteronomy 14:2. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. So the Most High himself is racist. I am racist. Any brother that's sincere in this truth is blatantly, clearly racist. We are superior, and we're always going to be superior. We're at the lowest state we've ever been, and we're still superior than everybody on planet Earth. And once all hell breaks loose, Esau comes with his whatever, right? The robots, his super soldiers, whatever other crazy technology he has, we're going to get spiritual power. Some of us are going to get spiritual power and to dominate, completely dominate you heathens and you 2/3 out there. And the Israelites are clearly been stated. Now that I prove that the Most High and his son are so-called black men, let's prove the Israelites. Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. Now let's go into concordance for that word black to prove that it's clearly talking about color. Black. You understand? To mourn, to be dark. All right. By implication, to mourn. You understand? Dark colored. You understand? And you go down to the Strongs. What does it say? To be dark. You go down even more. It says to be of a dirty blackish color as burnt skin. To be darkened. So the Israelites are the color of dirt. They are black unto the ground. You understand? So the Israelites are people of color. And through prophecy, Deuteronomy 28 chapter only applies to the Israelites. Now let's prove that the Edomites would take the heritage of the Israelites as they're controlling the planet Earth. Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which I've appointed my land in their possession. And Idumea is just the Greek way of saying Edom. So the Edomites have the land of Israel right now. which clearly we see. And guess what? They already parted it before. And now they're parting it again with the Palestinians, which are just heathens, which have appointed my land to their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for prey. Now let's get it into where it talks about these Edomites parting the land, which they're doing yet again. Let's go to Ezekiel 35 and 15. Let's scroll up a little bit. Verse 15. And thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel. So they took our inheritance, which is what? Being called the Israelites, having the land of Israel. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so I will do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So you Edomites. Verse 10, this is Ezekiel 35 and 10, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there. So those two nations are going to the northern southern kingdom, which Esau clearly has in his grasp to this very day in the Americas. Now let's scroll up a little bit more. Ezekiel 36 and verse 2. Thus say Yahweh thy power, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in our possession. And that goes into Edomites. Now let's go to Joel chapter 2, which clearly connects what I'm saying to end time prophecy. Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So we're going to be brought back into the land of Israel. We're going to be brought back out of captivity. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel. You understand? So the land of Israel and the people, proving that we're not in the land right now, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You understand? And that's you Edomites, you so-called white people. And they have cast lots for my people, slavery, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Oh, yeah, and what ye do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and on the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? So that's just going into how you Hamites, you so-called Africans, which the southern kingdom of Israel are not Hamites. They're not so-called Africans. And is also going into the Ishmaelites, which are so-called Arabs. The so-called Arabs and so-called Africans hunted down and captured the Israelites through mainly in the west coast of Africa. Some of the Israelites in the southern part, not the southern part, the inner part of Africa as well. They hunted them down and sold them to Edomites. And that's why when you scroll down, verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, you Edomites. You Edomites. You understand? So this is clearly telling you in time prophecy that the so-called white people would be buying the Israelites from these heathens. You understand? And the only thing that has been happening through that, and the only people that fit this prophecy of being sold, are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You see, prophecy is undefeated. You can't deny anything I'm saying. All you can do is just scoff, get mad, leave a spiteful comment because you're probably an Edomite or you're a wicked nigga, spigger. You understand? Tonto. Run low on battery, but let's go to Revelations, where clearly it blatantly tells you. Just going back into you Edomites, Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan. So the people that are controlling the planet Earth. Job 9:24, the earth is given in the hand of wicked. And First Thessalonians chapter 2, I'm gonna get that and a few more that clearly tells that the wicked control the earth, and they will be under doing the work of Satan, which are you so-called white people, and you will control the planet Earth, and you will say that you're the Israelites, clearly connecting the dots so you so-called white people being Edomites. Your complexion matches, because Edom literally means red. You so-called white people are red. You're wicked. You understand? You act like you're the Israelites. All this is just biblical prophecy. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. So there's people who control the planet Earth who are wicked that are saying that they're the Israelites, specifically the southern kingdom, because all a Jew means is Judah. And who's the people that are clearly wicked, controlling the earth, acting like they're the Israelites? Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So you Edomites, specifically small hatters, you Israelis, which are Amalek, the head tribe of Edom, you're literally going to be at the soles of our feet, licking the dust off the bottom of our feet. We're going to torture you. You're going to get tortured. You Edomites, we're going to torture you. It's going to happen. You don't have to agree. If I was a so-called Edomite, which clearly I'm not, if I was a so-called Edomite, I wouldn't want to believe it either. I would deny it as long as possible and enjoy my rulership. You understand? Because if I believe it, I'm going to be haunted every day. I wouldn't have the balls. If I was Edomite, I wouldn't have the balls to accept that and go about my day like nothing is wrong. You understand? Because you're going to be enslaved and exterminated. 144, call halayim la Yahweh Shem El Shah. You're going to be enslaved and then exterminated. You Edomites are still here. Just to prove that the Edomites are still here, Obadiah 1:21, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh. Verse 18, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble. So the Israelites are going to be more powerful. This is all it means. The Israelites are going to be more powerful, and you Edomites are going to be ripe for the picking. You're going to be prey. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So you Edomites are going to be exterminated. And verse 21 says you're going to be judged and exterminated in the kingdom of heaven. So you Edomites are still here. Just to further prove this point, Ecclesiastes 4:16, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So you Edomites are still here. Give me a moment. Can't find it. Let's go to Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. So you Edomites are supposed to be hated. The Most High hates you so-called white people because you're wicked. Look at your history. Look at your history. It's been nothing but wickedness, even against your own people. Because you're created to be the wicked, and you're going to be taken down. Your rulership is ending at this very moment. You see, the elite level Edomites, they're going to cause a collapse of society. They're going to collapse society. All of society, not just the Western society. All of society will collapse. and they're going to bring in a new world order, and they're going to implement that C hip. You understand? They're going think of a Lay's. You understand? They're going to implement that, because that's the MOT to the B, Izzy. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to collapse society, and you lower level Edomites are just going to get crossed in the crossfire. You understand? Because they don't care. You lower level Edomites are getting mad because you didn't get the full piece of the pie. Like Amalek, these Israelis, they got 70-80% of the pie, and the other 20% has been trickled down to the rest of you Edomites, and you feel some type of way about it. That's why you see infighting. Let's get that. Before I get that infighting scripture, let's get what was it? 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, or I believe it was 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, the Israelites, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, and as the day of Mashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. So the Israelites would have to lose their knowledge of being the Israelites. There's another scripture that goes into that, so let me get it. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So the Israelites will forget that they're Israelites, and then they will go into a land that they do not know, forgetting who they are. Who is that? What does that sound like? Who has that happened to? What people have been brought to a land that they do not know and forgot who they are? Process of elimination, people. Process of elimination. Let's go back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. So before the Israelites can meet up with Yahushua, they will have to forget that they're Israelites. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the man of sin, that's the Edomites. The Edomites have to be revealed as well. So the man of sin has to be revealed before the Lord comes back. And people say it's an antichrist bullshit that's not a part of scriptures. Let's get that. Didn't the scripture say there's multiple doesn't the scripture say there's multiple quote unquote anti-Christ? You understand? Verse 1 John 2:18, little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, what is anti-Hamashiach, which just means the anointed. Even now are there many anti-Hamashiachs, whereby we know that is the last time. So there's multiple anti-Hamashiachs. You imbeciles. The ultimate anti-Hamashiach is you Edomites, because you're the wicked. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, his technology, or that is worshipped, so that he is the Most High, seeing the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, and the temple of the Most High is the Israelites. The temple of the Most High is the Israelites. You see, we prove what we say over here. 2 Corinthians 6:16. And what agreement hath the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. For ye are the temple of the living power. 1 Corinthians 6:19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Rakakados, which is in you, which ye have the Most High, and ye are not your own? First Corinthians 3:17. If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are. So the Israelites is the temple of the Most High. So when it's talking about sitting in the temple of the Most High, like I said, these two nations shall be ours. You got the northern southern kingdom in your grasp. Showing himself that he is the Most High, yeah, through Christianity. You understand? Caesar, that blasphemous image saying the Most High has pale skin, and his son and the Israelites, and his doctrine, the beast system. I'm gonna skip down to verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. What I'm doing now. Let's prove that's what it's talking about. No, it's in Amos 3:7. Surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing but revealeth his secret unto the servants, the prophets. So that consumption with the spirit of the mouth is what I'm doing now, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Verse 9, let's reread it. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and sign and lying wonders, because you Edomites have the power to be wicked. You have rulership of the planet Earth. Revelation 3:9. What does it say? Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not. So the wicked, or the wicked, which are the Edomites, Malachi 1, will be acting like they're the Israelites, and they will control the planet Earth. You understand? You see how everything is lining up. Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and a people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. You see how everything is connecting? You see, let's prove that this is how, what I'm doing is how you're supposed to break down the scriptures. And I'm going to prove that. You see how I'm proving what I'm saying? Isaiah 28:10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. So you got to go to Romans, you got to go to Malachi, some things, Malachi, and then you line up Malachi with 2 Thessalonians, which lines up with Revelations 3, which lines up to Psalms 137, which lines up to Zechariah 2. Let's go to Psalms 137 to prove that the Edomites will be a part of end time prophecy. Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And raise it means to destroy. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. So we're going to literally get Edomite babies, you understand, and bust them open like some tomatoes. We're going to bust them open on stones. Because you Edomites did it to you had our babies as alligator bait. You think you're going to do all that wickedness to the children of Israel and you're going to get away with it? Now let's go to Zechariah. You're not getting away with it. Zechariah chapter 2, and we're going to get a scripture on that, thinking that you're all clear. You're all clear and dandy after I read Zechariah chapter 2. And in 7. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. So the northern southern kingdom will be enslaved in the daughter of Babylon, which we just read is controlled by you Edomites, which is a part of end time prophecy. Now let's get wicked speedily. Give me a moment. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed expediently, therefore the hearts of the son of men is fully set in them to do evil. So you Edomites, just because you've been home free from all the wickedness you've done to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're still going to oppress us and slaughter us because we're prey. Let's scroll through a little bit. Ezekiel 34 and 8, as I live, saith Yahweh, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock. For the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. So the Israelites became prey. Let's get our Lamentations chapter 4, what talks about you Edomites taking our heritage. Or is it Lamentations? Let me see. This is going into you Edomites having us in slavery. Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. Naked, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Zion. He will discover thy sins. I think it's Lamentations 5. Perfect. For Lamentations 5 and 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens, you Edomites. You Edomites are acting like you're the Israelites. We already proved that. What else should I go into? I think that's it. I'm going to end this off right here. Shalom.